Okay, on with pockets then. Okay, what I thought I would do first is do a pocket that Yvonne Preston has got a template for. Okay, and she's also got a playlist with loads of pockets and different things she's done. Now, in the beginning, she is one of the first people I watched many years ago. Well, not many now, 3, 4, something like that, not that long, on junk journaling, because I used to make mini albums, and I must admit I learned a lot from her. Okay, so she has a great playlist out there now, which I will link that below in the description box, and I'm going to follow a tag pocket that she made, and you can download a template for it on her website. Yeah, so I'll link all that below. All right, and I thought I would put it here because it's going to fit nicely on there. Okay, and to be honest, it's a little bit flimsy, this page, and I think it will give it a bit of sort of backbone by doing this. Right, so I'm just going to make sure that's nice and square first, like so. That's better. Okay, so let's get on and make that. I mean, it's quite, it's quite simple to follow. So I'll stick Yvonne there. Sorry, Yvonne. You might not even be able to see her. Oh no, let's put her there. You can see her. Yeah, she's been absolute inspiration to me, and we have many chats about things, which is lovely. Right, okay, what do we do? Right, okay. Her tutorial is very good on this. When I follow somebody else's thing, I'm not very good at it. Right, okay. So she's cut a piece of card that size. All right, that's the back of it. Okay, this has to be all inked up and everything, and matted, So that was 3 3/4 by 7.5. That was my mat, which I go in 1/4 inch all round. Okay, that's that. Then the pocket is 4 3/4 times 3, and then you score it half there and 4 1/4 there, or I tend to turn around and score that way because I'm being left-handed. I just find it easier to turn around, and then you score 1/2 inch in on the bottom there. Okay, because I always go 1/2 inch, where when you're right-handed you'll go on the 2 mark or something like that, but I'm sort of a bit cack-handed, which I can show you what I mean if you haven't seen me before. When I do pockets, I cut my size that I want, 3 3/4, and then I tend to score 1/2 inch. Yeah, then I'll score at the bottom 1/2 inch, and then I'll do that 1/2 inch, because I find but if you're right-handed, might work this way. All right, no, I can't do that, so that's why. Okay, so we have to ink up this and mat that on first, yeah, before we put the pocket on. Nearly got wild honey then, for some reason. It's a bit of vintage photo. You won't see it stand up so much on my paper because it's been printed on a laser. We've got a horrible fly in here again. And but if you on an inkjet, the paper is more porous, so you'll see the ink more. Okay, that's that. Just ink up these. Doesn't matter because that doesn't show. As well, ink up this one while I'm at it. That's all that show there, but I'll just go in a bit there. I've also got a mat for that bit as well. So, okay, let's glue this bit down. Yeah, the pockets I'm using through the journal, there's a couple of different people that have done nice pockets, so I thought I would use those because it's always nice to share their channels too. And I've just found another person that's done some wonderful pockets. Is Terry Wood. So I shall share hers, and I'm going to do one of hers as well. And I'll share her channels because she's got a lot more as well. She's got all different pockets that she's done, I think. Fold out, flip out ones, which are quite nice. Okay, that's that. Okay, let's just mat this on. And when I mat, I just usually just come in a bit from, usually about 1/4 inch, I think. So it's usually about 1/8 around, something like that. Okay. Right, because I've scored all around here, we've got to do this to the pocket. Just cut up that corner there, okay. And then I usually go like that, so looks like that. Okay. And same with that one. This one's burnishing a bit. It's always best to do that, you know, because they do lay flatter, I will say. Okay, and I always put the bottom flap over those two. Only because if you put it there and then those are there, when you put something in, it catches on there. There we go, and then we have your nice pocket there. Right, so now we've got to decorate it. That's going to do this, I think. That's one of the little snippets I made. Okay, and I might get rid of that. I'll just put the hole in that one though. Just going to add a bit more to this. It's just a little bit of fabric there. So again, a snippet comes in handy. Okay, let's put that in the pocket. Wherever I said I was going to do it. It's here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, on that flat, wasn't it? Somewhere. Yeah. And it's going to sit on there like that. I mean, you could have a pocket under there as well, but I'm not going to. I'm just wondering whether to leave this open, to put a pocket on the side. No, I'm not. I'm going to shut it down. Yeah, I am, because that's going to make it all too heavy for this piece of thin paper. Yes. I always like things sticking out. So I'm going to glue all this one down. And all that was cream card there, so thin cream card. Okay, and the tag is, make sure it fits in, yeah. Three and a quarter by 7. Okay, like I said, download her template. She's got it all there together. All right, so just got to decorate the tag now, and we'll do a quickie. Just to show you don't have to spend hours over tags. I've just got a bit of, I've got one of the tickets, well, not tickets, journaling cards, shrunk down, a little bit of ephemera there, okay, and I've just got a bit of the paper. I'm just looking, one minute. Yeah, I'm going to have that up there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Which I'm going to cover the whole thing just right. Perfect. And I am going to do a prick stick. Right, so prick stick. There we go. And cut around that. I mean, I think one of my big tags will fit in there fine. I'll just get one in a minute that comes with a kit. I wanted to make one a bit bigger. Okay, let's have a look. Just out of interest, just thought about that then. There's one. So, oh no, I'll leave that one there. I've got another. Okay. Yeah, so that actual one there would have looked fine in there, wouldn't it? Perfect. Actually, why am I making another tag? Because that sits in there beautifully. But I am. I'm going to use stencil on that bit. Oh, I like that one. Right. Okay, that's the Tim Holtz stencil there. Which is that one there. Just wanted a bit more there. Okay, we'll get sticking that down. And again, that's just a bit of the background paper. And I'm pushing this one up a little bit higher because we know the pocket comes to about here, don't we? So this one's going up highest. But to the left side. And then this one is going to go sort of there. I might turn that around. Let's have a look to see if we can see more of the writing, really. Make sure that's the right way. Yeah, I like that better. You see, simple tag, and you can stitch these. They look really nice. There. Glue off. Something sticking out of there. Right. And when I do this, it's just little dots of glue. Okay, and then sort of scrunch it up a bit around the glue, and then you don't see it. Sort of, yeah, this all covers the glue then. Okay, let's make sure that's stuck down there. And these look lovely if you stitch this one here, which I most probably will do. But again, you don't need to. A little bit of washi tape, I think. Yes, let's. I'm going to put it right across. Actually. Okay, I'm going to go and stitch. Okay, I'm doing it with cream, I think. Okay, and then I'll be back. Okay, that's all stitched. Okay, just done around this bit here and all around the outside. Okay, right. And I don't need a reinforcer on here, because it's you know, quite thick. So alright, I'm just gonna put the lace around that way like I do with lace, and then make my knot. Oh, I cut my finger, didn't I? Oh dear, on my trimmer, you know, the one with the blade that goes up and down like that, it sort of slipped out, so I pushed it back in, and as I pushed it back in, I went like that and went over my finger. It's not too bad, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. It's like, oh god. Never mind. Silly mistake. It sort of jumped as I pushed it back in and ran right over my finger. Okay. Oh, I bet that's a mushroom. Yes. My mushrooms keep appearing. And then that goes in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, on with the next one. So this one is called the Rita Donnelly flip. She started it all off, this one. I do it a little bit different. She's done it so that, sorry, mainly, sorry, get it around the right way. And then you could journal in here, yeah? All right, but I'm doing one because I need something up here because we've got a lot of pockets coming on down this way. So I want one down there, and I quite like it when I fold it over like that. Okay, and I put a little embellishment on there. Okay, which you can actually pull it down and then write in it if you wanted to, or you could stick it down, yeah, and you've got a little pocket for a little tag up there. So I'm going to do that, and all it is a square of paper. You can do, you know, down there, and then you've got your two pockets. Okay, you've got two of them. All right, and then you've just got to flip out. I'm doing it keeping mine together. Okay, and then just folding that over. All right, but you can, you know, do that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to actually close mine down. All right, and then I'm going to use that as a little tuck spot at the top for a little ticket or something, or a couple of tickets. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down. Okay, and I'm also going to glue the two sides down here. Like that. And to be honest, I should have inked up that. Okay. Let's do that quickly. There you go. And then ink up the sides. They look quite nice stitched as well. Okay. So I'm going to go and just stitch around mine. Okay, you don't need to. If you don't, then actually, I'm just thinking that's going to go there. Yeah, no, I'm going to say you could, and then right in there, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'm just going to keep it like that. And this is really thin paper, so that's why I doubled it over. All right, and now I'm going to stitch all the way around, but if you wasn't, then you need to glue that down. All right. Okay. And of course, all these videos I will link below. All right. So now I'm going to stick this down, only two sides. Okay, so because we can use that as a tuck. Make sure it's not hanging over the page. Okay, and then put a little embellishment on there. Okay, and then that acts as a tuck spot. Okay. You usually put quite a couple of things in there because they're pretty good deep pockets. All right, so that is that one. So I shall post all the links for these videos below because I think they really are good people to learn from. Right, and we go on with the other one now, and I'm going towards the back now. All right, because there's quite a few going on through the front there. So this one here is by Terry Wood. I've recently come across this person by Yvonne. Okay, so I'm going to share her triple pocket because I thought that was a nice easy one to do. And she's got loads on her channel apparently. Haven't seen them all, but I definitely thought, well, I'd use this one. Okay, yep, so I thought I'd use this one and I love it. So I've seen Yvonne use it a lot. So all it is a A4 piece of paper, coffee stained. Yeah. Okay. You fold it in half, like that. Yeah. Then you fold this in thirds now. So I sort of went, sort of, you find it like so, yeah. Okay, now this inside one, I do a little bit away. You sort of do it so that this inside one's a little bit shorter, and then you sort of find it, if you know what I mean, and then you score it, which really I should do another one from scratch. So I might actually. I'll just go and get another piece of paper and I'll do another one from scratch. Here we go. All right. Yeah, so please go and check out her channel though, because she's got a few. So you fold it in half like that. Yeah. And then you sort of gauge it. Okay. And so you look in there. I would come in just a little bit more like that. Maybe a little bit more. Again, you don't have to measure anything. Don't do that with these. There, see? So that's, you can see that there. It's just shy of where that's going to be folded. Yeah. And then it's also, this little bit here is just in from there as well. And then what I do is I mark that bit and that bit. Yeah. So we've got a mark there and there. Okay, now we can square it up. Yeah. And burnish. Like so. I don't like the way that's creased there. Hold on. That's it. Like that. And exactly the same with this one here, because we've marked it there, on top there, and then we can square off everything. Make sure it lays nice and square. Okay. So we have our 3 now. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Base of our pocket. Okay. We open out. Like that. And we have to fold in the 4 corners, I think. Just check. I'm sure I do. Yeah, that's right, we do. Okay. There. So that goes down there, first corner. Again, shy of there. That's one there. And there. And there. Like that. Okay, so it looks like that now. Alright. And then that's it, you fold it up like so. Let's burnish those. Like that. Okay, and then you either have the short one or the long one going over there, alright? But I think mine are actually quite equal, so sometimes they're a bit shorter, but mine isn't. And then what you do, you sort of bend that around and tuck that in like that. Yeah. It's a bit lumpy there. Ah. Yes, that's what I did. I'll try the other way. That's better. That actually fitted better that way. All right. Because I think she tries to, when she explains it, she said one side is slightly longer than the other, and it's best to work with that. So just until it sits properly. Right, and when you tuck something in these, when it's shut, you actually tuck it in that first first pocket there. All right, if you tuck it in the back, it goes through. All right, but this sits in your journal, and you can open it all out, you see, and you can journal all on it. Yeah, and then you can fold it back up, do whatever. So that's where it's good. I'm going to, I think I'm going to stain mine up a bit. Yeah, ink mine up. We don't have to do all this. This is me. This is because I quite like it if it opens out and, you know, and you see the ink in and everything. Do that a little bit more there. And you can, you know, stamp them, or you can actually mat this area as well if you wanted to. I'm quite happy with the way it is, because I can put a decoration on there or something on there later on. Yeah, I'm going to stick that in there. So we've got a pocket here, and we've got a pocket behind it as well. I just want to burnish that a little bit more. Well, I hope I've done that pocket justice. I haven't actually, didn't watch it all the way through. I thought, oh yeah, I've got that. You know, I'm one of those really, and sometimes it ends up a little bit different. Okay, so I'm not sticking it here. Actually, I mean, we've got double layer there, but I don't know. Could stick it all. I'm not sure. We might be able to stick it all the way down. Actually, I'm just thinking there, because we actually got a pocket here. Yeah, I'm going to brave it. I think it was said that if you put something, yeah, like I said before, you put something in the pocket, it goes in between there, then it doesn't tuck through. Yeah, and I'll just try one of these for a minute. So you'd have to do that one first, wouldn't you? That would slip in there. That one's too big, really. So just say, for instance, and then that one goes in that bit there. Yeah, and that doesn't slip down. Right? Yeah, and you take it out. And you've got all that, or secret messages. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then you could put something to decorate it along there. I've got two now. These could look quite nice. Sorry, these were misprint on Queen card. I misprinted them. They're a freebie. And that looks quite nice in there. Up to the end there, as long as we don't stick this down here. All right. I'll just check again. So I'll put my finger there. Happen to go above it. Just stick your little bit of acetate behind. Okay, until it's dry. There we go. Quite a nice one to have, you know, if you've got quite a busy background at the back. That's not too bad. But so, you know, so you could sort of stamp this and everything. So, but yeah, I like that. That's really nice. First time I've done one of those, so, and it wasn't difficult at all. Yeah. Okay, all right. Next one. So I've got, you know, I've got the ones that come with the kit. We'll get to talk about those after. I've got one more that's a little, not different, but here we go. Right, I'll make sure I got me 3 videos to link. So I'll stick them on there on my little notes. Right, this one is, I have no idea where it come from, but I've done it before. So we'll have a pocket here, and then we have a pocket there, and then we have a little pocket here as well that you can put a little ticket in or something. All right, and all that is, that's the mat, is you measure how, this was a bit off cut, so I've used that. You come in a little bit from here, okay, about 1/2 inch. All right, so that's all that piece is. Like that, and that's folded in half, yeah, and then you sort of turn it around. I actually can't remember how I done it. Right, okay, serious, Andrea. Okay, right, so it's a piece of paper doubled over. That's not the width that you want, actually. It's that way. Okay, so it's doubled that way, I'm gonna say. Okay, that's the width, and then we fold down that piece. Okay, and then now you've got your pocket. And again, I'm going to stitch around mine because I can look nice stitched around. Okay, so you have to stitch around this bit first, yeah, to that, so you see it. All right, and then once it's glued down, you can sew around the whole thing. Yeah, so I'm going to stitch there and there. All right, and we'll go from there. Right, I'm going to stitch around that bit in a minute. So I've just stitched around those 2 sides there, okay, because we put, when I go right the way around, we put stitching all along here, you see. But if you don't want to stitch, then forget I've done that. All right. So there's a piece of paper. Shall I tell you the measurements of the, oh gosh, that's my really old one. The numbers have come off of that. I mean, my journal's what, 5.5 wide. So I've made this one 7.5. Okay. And then folded in half. Yeah. And then flip one of the sides up, and then you turn it around. Yeah, so it looks like that on your page. But I'll show you where to glue now. Okay. You have to glue here. Right there. And I usually put the glue on this side here so I don't go over. There. That's there. And then that leaves an opening here. Like that. And I'm going to mat this. Again, I usually just take a measurement and just come in a bit, you know, just to leave a little bit there. I'm not going to see my stitching. But never mind. I'm going to just take a tiny bit off there so I can see the stitching. Okay, and I think that there, I'm going to put a bit of lace on. Okay, right, I'm going to ink up. And again, I'm going to do the 3 sides. Okay, leave the top clear so we can, that can be a tuck spot as well. Okay, right, just so you have a tuck spot there. There. And this looks quite nice if it's a little tag poking out. See, that goes all the way back there. Yeah, it's too big. So these little ones just fit in there nicely. Yeah, and they go back in further. Yeah, I just need this one. Like that. There we go. Alright, so let's get in. We haven't got hardly anything in there yet. So, and these are going to be tags in there, not those cards. I've got some of these that I misprinted, so I think they would look nice in there. Not misprinted, but printed ages ago onto some cream card. They will be fine on there. In there. These I'm going to save for something else. Okay, well that's a little bit about pockets today. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't know what's next. It's finishing off really and adding ephemera and stuff, and maybe doing something with these like I said I was going to. I remember. Because I make little pockets sometimes out of those and stick them down. And then add in loads of the rest of the bits and pieces and a bit of stamping here and there on these plain pages. We haven't done anything, or even stenciling. I've done a bit of stenciling there, so might not do much stamping on this one. I shall add something. See, that page doesn't look straight, but it is. Yeah. Okay. Right then, okay, well that's the pockets, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.